Hi everybody, it's Lisa Thibodeau, and this is a Tip Talk. And since it's September 11th, I just wanted to do some reflections and talk about some of the things that we need to remember today and really every day. Last night, I'm trying to get this straight so y'all can kind of see the lake in the background too. Last night I went to the Grand Ole Opry and went to, we had really good seats. I was like really kind of surprised how good they were. Second row, we could really just you could see the sweat pouring off the performers' faces and all, and it was really just a great night. And they had veterans stand up, and we had them, all around us, like about four behind us, the man next to me, the man in front of me, a lady on this side of me. And when Lee Greenwood came out and sang oh my goodness, God Bless the USA, I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Everybody stood up, especially when he said I'll stand up, and people stood up and they were singing, and it was just being so close to September 11th, it was very emotional. And I've seen him sing before, he was, I don't know if it was an LSU game, a Saints game, some game I was at, and he's in the middle of the field, you barely can see him. But having him, where I could see his emotion too, and he's sung it a million times, his whole career, probably all of his money is the fact that he wrote and sang that song. But you could tell he really felt it, and the people there did, and everybody in the place was standing, and it was a beautiful moment that I'll remember always. Just like I always remember, and most of you do if you were born. I know it's 18 years ago today that the September 11th tragedy occurred. And so most of us remember exactly what we were doing. And I was in between classes, the bell rang, my first hour left, and my second hour honors English 4 was coming in. And I got a phone call in my room. I had a phone in my room because I did yearbook. And the secretary called me and said, you need to turn the TV on. So I did. And we were kind of looking at it. And as the people were coming in, as my students were coming in, and we were just in shock. And it's a moment that it was just unbelievable. And because we had the TV on, we saw the second plane go in. And I remember Aaron Ryan, I was kind of talking to the class, so I wasn't watching the TV, and I had a student whose sister lived, who I had also taught lived near there or worked near there, and he was very upset, and so I was kind of talking to them, and Aaron said something about, hey, a plane hit the Pentagon, and I'm like, no, Aaron, you must be wrong. It's the Twin Towers. And I could not believe that it was the Pentagon too. And it was just every event that happened, one after another, it was just astounding. It was just unbelievable. It was just, we're under attack. And I hope people haven't remembered that feeling. I hope people remember that every single day. You have to. We can't just remember it on September 11th. We have to remember that feeling and how everybody acted after that, because everybody was kind to each other, and everybody, gave blood and kind of appreciated life, and we need to do that. One of the things, though, that I love to talk about at this time is something that, and I couldn't find the actual paper, but I know the gist of it, but it was about inconveniences that happened that day that saved those people's lives. It was about, one person, their toddler wouldn't put their shoes on. Okay, we all been there where you're like, come on, I'm gonna be late. the toddler was having like a temper tantrum. It made them late, so they weren't at the Twin Towers. It was about alarm not going off. One guy had a flat tire. One person had an argument and was late. Traffic problem. All of these things, that, they missed the plane that they were on, or they didn't make it to work in time. Something stopped them, and it saved their life. So while we also think about the over 3,000 people that lost their life and the families that 18 years later, it still has affected their everyday life, we also want to remember that sometimes when we get aggravated by things, by these little, I'm in traffic. Oh, my alarm didn't go off. Oh, my toddler's having a fit. Oh, this happened, whatever, that happened. And we're just like, we're so frustrated, and we're just like, we think these inconveniences are just like the worst thing. What if it is something where you have avoided an accident? What if it's something that you have avoided something that is just could have been the worst experience of your life? What if your life was saved because you were late to something like happened this? So the next time you have an inconvenience, the next time something happens and you're like, this is just the worst. Oh my gosh, everything's happening. Everything's messing up. There's probably a reason for it. And maybe you'll never know the way these people did. But maybe God always has a reason for things. I believe that. And so when you have these inconveniences, when things are not going your way, there could be a very good reason for it. So bless those things. Say, hey, whatever this is teaching me, whatever this is saving me from, thank you, God. So that's just my little reflections today. And I also, I don't know if some of my students, I see a few of my students are on here. I used to have in my classroom, like it was a People magazine cover. And it was children born in 2001 after 9/11, and their parents were killed on September 11th. And so they never knew their fathers. And so now I was just thinking about that picture today because they're 18 years old. They're seniors in high school, and they have lived their whole life without their father. They're going to have their senior year without their father. So just thinking about those people, and I hope that you will, not only as we remember the souls lost, think about those families. Think about those children that had to live and will live their entire life. They won't get their father to walk them across the football field if they're in homecoming. Their father won't be there for their wedding. Their father won't be there for any, and has not been there for any significant moment in their life because of 9/11. It just breaks my heart. It still breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart doubly when people aren't patriotic and don't love the United States and don't respect the flag. And I don't want to get political because I do not believe in getting political, because I feel like people believe what they believe and you can't change them. Everybody believes what they believe. You cannot change that. You're just wasting time. It's just an argument for no reason. But I just hope that we will all pray for those lost souls, pray for the families, and pray for our country, especially today. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.